A very good morning to all our viewers. It's bright and early on a Monday morning and you've joined us live on this broadcast on Moneycontrol. You're watching Newspresso with me, StacyPereira, and as the drill goes, in the next few minutes you're going to get a lowdown on all the top stories from around the globe, insights from into India and the latest trends that are giving you that edge and keeping you informed ahead of the others. So let's get straight to it and get you all that we're getting from our global dispatch. Indices on Wall Street are set to wrap up for the month of July with strong gains. The S&P is up 3% in July on the pace of its fifth positive month in a row for the first time since the 7-month streak ending in August of 2021. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite 2 has gained about 3.8% for the month to date, while the blue-chip Dow is up 3.1% in July. A resilient economy. The data from the U.S. is showing that receding inflation pressures as well as expectations that we are at the end of a Federal Reserve rate hiking campaign have enthused investors. In fact, investors have shifted their focus onto the big jobs report that is due this week, as well as the earnings report from Apple and Amazon, which will come on later on this week. European markets, those one closed marginally with gains on Friday as investors are still processing the action from the central bank as well as a slew of earnings. The Stock 600 index closed about just 0.2% lower, with most of the sectors in the negative territory. Media stocks were the ones with the biggest cuts, down about 1.3%. And on the data front, we did have the GDP numbers, readings from some of the Eurozone area's biggest economies, which painted quite a mixed picture. France's economy grew by just 0.5% versus the previous quarter, up by 0.1% growth, though Germany remained stagnant, whereas Spain the growth came in at 0.4%, a slight dip from the 0.5%. And for markets in the Asia-Pacific region, those all have opened up quite positive. Now, Japan's Nikkei 225, those slid by 2.4% on Friday after the Bank of Japan adjusted its stance on its yield curve control policy. The BoJ also held its benchmark policy rates at minus 0.1% in line with expectations. Though this morning we are seeing the Australian markets, the S&P ASX 200 opened quite in the positive. Korea's Kospi 2 is trading in the green. On Friday, we did see the Shanghai Composite, which was up about 1.84%, close at its highest level since May of 22nd, and this is likely to continue, and that's what we're seeing this morning as well. The Shanghai indices quite there in the positive, but that is after we saw data from China's factory activity, which has come out for the month of July. That has come in, which shows that it has contracted though for the fourth straight month, with official PMI index coming in at 49.3. All in all, Asian markets looking quite positive this morning. And in some somber news, we did hear of at least 40 people who were killed and about 130 others injured after a suicide bombing tore through a political rally in Pakistan northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Now, initially, police said that there was no confirmation about the cause of the blast, and that took place at a gathering of a conservative Jaimat Ulema Islam Fazal, or JUIF, party, known for its links to the hardline political Islamist. Now, in the former tribal area, this happened in the former tribal area of BoJ, but now police chiefs have confirmed that it was indeed a case of a suicide bombing. Pakistan has in fact seen resurgence of attacks of Islamist militants since the last year, when ceasefire between the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, that's TTP, as well as Islamabad broke down. And a quick recap of what went down in trade on Friday. Well, we did see the Nifty, which ended a tad bit lower and is expected to stay that way in that range of 1950 to 19,800 levels. 19,500 to 19,800 levels is what the range we're looking at in the coming sessions as well. With a break either on either side will show the direction of which side we are going to see the Nifty move ahead, slipping below that 19,700 levels, which will be that crucial support level for the Nifty. Now, the Sensex 2 closing about 107 points lower at 66,160. Among the stocks you need to be watching out for today, though, Maruti Suzuki, Power Grid Corporation, Adani Green should be on your radar, as they will be among the companies that will be in focus ahead of their quarterly earnings. And on the primary market, well, it is looking yet another busy week. We have 5 initial public offerings or IPOs and 3 of them from the small and medium enterprise or SME segments opening up for subscription this week. We also have 2 companies which will make their market debuts. Now, non-banking finance company SBFC Finance is the one looking to raise about 1,025 crore rupees through this IPO and will be the first main board offering this week, while bidding will open for it on August 3rd. This will be followed by biopharma company Concord Biotech, which is backed by late ace investor Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's firm Rare Enterprise. Now, Concord Biotech's public issue will open for subscription on August 4th. As the company is making their debuts, we have dyes and pigment paste manufacturer Yawson Chemics Care, which will take on a D-Street list on the NSE SME platform on August 3rd, whereas direct marketing solution firm Innovatus Entertainment Networks will follow and list on August 4th. Now, the authorities for advance ruling or AAR among the GST panel of Karnataka in its order on Friday has said that a 12% GST will now be levied on rents that will be paid for hostel accommodations as well as paying guests. Now, these accommodations have been categorized as non-residential and hence will now be liable to a 12% GST, just like what small hotels and inns have to pay right now. Now, tax experts believe that the order by the Karnataka and UP AAR will be taken as a permanent precedent by the GST Council. They believe that PGs and hostels were missing out the earlier GST law and hence there was a loophole that needed to be filled. But with this move will directly, of course, impact students and it is likely to add to the burden of cost of education, which will likely go up. Now, this order is likely to be challenged in court, but this precedent has already been sent by the AAR, and which is why we're going to see a 12% GST on hostels as well as PGs going ahead, which could come to hurt students. But another news from indirect tax to direct tax, where we do have the income tax department, which has revealed more than 6 crore income tax return claims have been filed as of 30th of July. That was yesterday, and of which 26.76 lakh ITRs were filed just yesterday alone, as that deadline to file the returns ends today, that is the 31st of July. And the department also revealed that its portal had witnessed more than 1.30 crore successful logins on the e-filing portal as of 6:30 p.m. last evening, and that a 24/7 help desk is now available to assist taxpayers who hadn't filed their returns yet. So if you are someone who's still looking to file your returns, you should be heading to that portal right away, because today is that deadline and it's unlikely that it's going to get extended. But let's also get you all the latest trends then, and we've been talking about Elon Musk and Twitter and X and how that has unfolded, and we know that as of July 24th is when Musk went on to change that little blue bird that we know Twitter as into that X symbol, but making sure that there isn't any trace left of that iconic birdie left. In his latest, Musk has shared a video of the company's headquarters in San Francisco with the X logo beaming bright and above on the headquarter building. Now, he went on to share this video, the same on his personal handle too, and caption of which read, "RHQ in San Francisco tonight." Musk also put out another tweet reiterating that Twitter will not be moving out of its headquarters, which is in San Francisco presently. And well, in a heartwarming display of appreciation and recognition, the Madhya Pradesh Police Department did bid farewell to a group of 10 dogs who had served in their canine squad with a grand felicitation ceremony organized at the Madhya Pradesh Police Headquarters. Now, video has now surfaced showing that the dogs with their handlers were presented with garlands and were also presented with a customized dog bed with their names and numbers of years in service. Here's a look at them walking that red carpet. And for all of you fantasy fans out there, well, this weekend was special because J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, that's the first installment of that 3-volume edition, completed its 69th anniversary, from which it was first debuted on July 29, 1954. Yeah, that's how old it is. Now, LOTR has several characters with interesting arcs, and from the ring bearer Frodo to the wizard Gandalf, warrior and healer Argon, to the evil Sauron. Now, they're all personality traits that resonate with the most of us. But if you are an LOTR fan, let us know which character you personally relate with and why. Write that in our comment section, and we'd like to know which one is your personal favorite. Well, and let's also tell you all that you need to be looking out for today before we let you go. Well, Paytm's management will be addressing the media at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Now, they say that they will be addressing with a report called The Sound of India's Payment Revolution. So we are going to get some data points, hopefully, from what Paytm wants to tell us how India is making their payments ahead from here on. We're also going to hear from Prime Minister Modi, who's going to chair the first and second cluster of meetings of N.D.A. MPs. Now, about 83 MPs we're given to understand will be present there alongside J.P. Nadda, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, as well as Nitin Gadkari. And remember, this all is happening in the run-up to the battle of 2024. So a lot of action coming from that front. But also, if you look at the other side, there's action coming from the opposition as well, where a delegation of 20 MPs have visited Manipur over the weekend. And during their two-day meet, they met with victims of the violence-struck areas as well as the camps that they have been now put in. They are going to be briefing the floor of the House, the parties there, and the situation of what transpired on this afternoon. We're given to understand the leaders will also continue to protest in both the houses. Well, the Speaker Om Birla is also expected to announce a date for the discussion on that no confidence motion which was accepted on Friday. So a lot to look forward to on the political front as well. But with that, it's a wrap, and hope this dose of Newspresso was useful and informative and give you that kick start to this Monday. A lot to be looking forward to. We have a slew of earnings. Among the top nifty earnings today is Maruti Suzuki that you need to be watching out for, and we'll be getting you all those details as and when they come. But don't forget to come back tomorrow, same place, same time, for your fresh shot of Newspresso. From everyone putting this show together, thanks so much for tuning in.